Hello everybody, it's Tuesday and it's time for Tuesday sewing, and it's our slow stitch and chat. And I thought I'd start off with a little bit of a treat, a show and tell. This is especially for Lynn because she said she couldn't wait to see what things arrived from my Spargo order, and here it is now. Not these actually, there are a few, because she works in conjunction with Wonderfil, and Wonderfil's in the UK here. I was able to get some of them without having to pay so much postage, the shipping. So Effina, and it says Effina on here, a Spargo collection. So I got those 3 colours in that, and I believe that's for couching down when you're doing applique. So I got those 3, and then also from Wonderfil, but they are, it says Spargo Wonderfil, so that's the Wonderfil collab, and this is Elana, and this is a wool acrylic, and I got those for beauties there. So obviously it cost me next to nothing for the shipping because obviously it was UK. Then this is my little collection. Here is my £100 worth from my dad's birthday money. It doesn't look much, does it? But the quality looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So the only thing that I think is rather expensive, and obviously you do pay a lot more for silk, anything with silk in it. This is the shepherd silk from the thread gatherer. So the thread gatherer is, I want to say Korea, but I'm not sure where it is now, thinking about it. But it's Sue has it on her website, but you can go to the thread gatherer direct. If you just wanted to buy their things. And yeah, it's $7.75 for this. So it's 50% wool, 50% silk. So I am going to shop around a little bit, see if I can get the same quality. It may be that Steph Francis sells it. Of a similar, of the same quality. I don't mind with that. Then, because I'm going to be doing a project that I've bought from Ariane. Yes, Ariane Lersha. Lersha, Ariane Lersha. Couldn't think of the name. I was thinking Ariana Grande. And I've been watching her channel for a while. I mean, the techniques, because I was drawn to one of her courses, which is impromptu stitching, I think it's called. And I thought, well, that suits me down to the ground, because a lot of my stitching, my textile work is very much, impromptu, in just go with the flow. And I thought that'd be fantastic. But I think it was £500 for this course. I think 5 Saturdays. Not quite in my price range at the moment, but she's got a YouTube channel, and I noticed that Rachel, somebody had recommended her to Rachel, and she mentioned that she'd been having a look. So she does some gorgeous stuff, but a lot of the technical stitches. And I think she's a friend of Sue Spargo's. So actually, Sue Spargo runs all the, from what I can see, she goes all around the States doing classes and, workshops and things. And then on YouTube, Ariane does a lot of the showing the practical stitches using Sue's threads and things like that. So very interesting. And This wool is absolutely beautiful quality. It's 100% Australian merino wool, and it is gorgeous quality. There's 6 pieces in there, 7 by 4.5 inches, and that's the colour palette that sort of I've chosen to go with all that. And you know, I've got some like felted wool that I just got from Hobbycraft, and which is good quality. But this is, if you're doing a special project, this is in a different league. So I got that, and then I got this loop easy thing. Now for doing all your fancy leaf stitches. Now it looks so easy when you see it on here. I saw it on Pinterest about a year ago doing these leaf stitches without any, you know, one of these little doofers, and they make it look so easy, but when you do it, oh dear, I've got bits of leaf flopping all over the place. So I wanted this because I saw Ariane using this, so yeah, I got that. That will help. If you get them right, they do look stunning. Then I got my little round mat, so they do a lot of stitches, and this is one. It's very tightly packed, even with these as sharp as they are. That's handy just for doing little embroideries. And I got some different needles because I didn't have any milliner's needles, which are the really long ones for doing. These are the best ones to use if you're doing any sort of wrapped stitches. So I got 2 sizes of those, and 2 sizes of chenille, an 18 and a 24. And these are for decorative stitches that you're not using wrap, and they've got quite large eyes, so they're good. And I've already got the because I've mentioned it before, I'd already got the oh, can't think what it's called, the sashiko needles, so I got those. And then look at these beauties. So these are the Eleganza range, and these are like a mixed thread. And what I like about these are the fact that they're colour coded. So she does them colour coded, and her needles are colour coded. So if you're any doubt as to what sort of needle to use for the thread, you know, it's there for you. So we've got that one and that one, and then the white, I think, is, you know, it doesn't matter so much, but you know, you can use the oh, what have I been saying now? I'm getting myself all ready for doing relaxation now, and I can't think straight what I want to say. Yeah, they universal, really, in a way, call it universal. But these are gorgeous. These are the new neutrals. Absolutely gorgeous. I've already had a little play with this one. Look at that. And this is Dazzle, from the Dazzle range. Bit of glitter in with that. Now, what David started doing for me, because the only thing is, then, unless you put them onto a card, they're all flopsicle and you can't do a thing with them. So David's just cut a thing across for me in the plastic, so that I could just put them in there, you know, so they're not flopping about. So that's that one, the new neutrals. And then this one, Tranquil Breeze. Now you see, I thought, look at these colours with this pack that I'm going to do this project with. And these are gorgeous. Look at those. So you've got 3 plain, and then 3 plain, 3 variegated. Oops, upside down. So that's Tranquil Breeze, and it's from the Eleganza. I mean, you could go on and on and on. But as I say, this lot, with the postage, I think I had to pay £40 postage. This cost me £100 just under. because of the, you know, so if you live in the States, it's going to be great for you. So that's that. And then finally, before we then get on to proceedings, this little beauty. Look at this little diddy thing. Let me turn it upside down for you. Look at that. Now I came across this, it's on Amazon. I think it was £13. I'll try and find the details, a link for you. Because in my DMC threads, I haven't got loads and loads of colour choices in my stash. Because I've never bought a full kit, I've always bought bits and bobs. And I saw this. I don't know what make it is actually, it doesn't say. However, having used it and done something with it, I've just done these little French knots here. I would say the quality is just as good as DMC. It might even be DMC, you know, that does it for other brands, you know, like they do. Kellogg's cornflakes do their cornflakes for Supermarket's Own. So you just clip this. So in the top you've got all these colours, and then it comes with all this. So you've got a thing, you know, a thimble, you've got some trim, you've got some neat little needles in there. That's mine. You've got some needle threaders, so I'll keep that out in case we have trouble. Needle threader, let me snaps out. So, and then the bottom layer, all those beauties. I thought that was a bargain because you can pay £13 just for the container. Okay, so that's that. Let's get to the pick jar. One, two. Okay then, what have we got to add this week? Oh, we've got Hexies again. Corrina. And fly stitch Corrina. So thank you Corrina for those. So Hexies and fly stitch. You don't half like to challenge me, don't you? Fly stitch is my dreaded. My dreaded stitch is fly stitch. Okay then, so as usual, we'll put a few nice photos in here while you go off and get your collection together for the Hexies and fly stitch. Okay then guys. Right, we're back, and let's, as usual, do our little bit of relaxation before we start stitching. And I need it now. I've been practicing my fly stitch. I got myself in it was one of those stitches that I just couldn't get the hang of it. You know, sometimes you could do really complicated things after watching it once, but then, oh dear, anyway, I'm right now. I've got the measure of it. It's because there's that many people left-handed had shown. I've been watching too many left-handed people do it, and I don't know, I just couldn't get it. But anyway, so I'm ready. Whew. So, as always, and anybody that's new that's joining us, we just take a few minutes to relax and to get into the mindset for doing some nice, slow stitching. So, as always, please do not drive or operate any machinery while you are doing relaxation techniques. And as well, for those of you that are new, I am a qualified meditation teacher. Okay, just sit comfortably. And I want you to take some nice deep breaths in and out. Close your eyes if you want. Deep breath in and out. And slowly, as your breathing starts to become slower, start to feel more relaxed. Let all the tension leave your body, each breath in and out. All the tension of the day, everything you've got to do for that day, all those lists, just put them away in their files in the back of your mind. You don't need to access them at this hour. This hour's for you. You deserve this hour to yourself. Nice, peaceful, relaxing stitching. Something you enjoy. Just feel all the tension ease out of your back and your shoulders. Roll your shoulders round if you like. Let the tension leave your shoulders and relax them down. Deep breath in and out. Let all the tension leave your legs and your feet. Waggle your feet around. Tighten your feet. Feel that tension. And then relax. Let all the tension leave your body. This is your time. This is time for you. You deserve this time. You deserve to sit and have a nice peaceful time doing some slow stitching. Don't need to think about the cares of the world, things that are worrying you at present, things you have to do throughout the day. Doesn't matter at this moment in time. Put them away. You can access them later, but at this moment in time is yours to relax. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. And the next deep breath in, you can start to open your eyes and get ready for this hour. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. And slowly open your eyes and in your own time get ready for your stitching. Okay, and it does work. It really does work. I was getting all stressed about fly stitch and feel okay now. So yes, what we're going to do, well, you know that last week I started my new cover. It's a bit sticky off my threads there, and I've not really done much more. I've put a few French knots up there, and these were the Hexies that we got from last week. So we've got them again this week, but that's great because if you're working on the same project, it's going to all fit nicely. And so I shall carry on with that next week again. But what I thought today would be useful is from yesterday, following on from yesterday, and the messing about with the melted wax and getting wax effects on fabric or paper for your journals, or to just have a little bit of slow stitching. And you don't need to go out and have a load of supplies really, but I do realise that it's a bit daunting when you first start stitching on a blank. You know, you've suddenly got this blank piece of canvas, this blank piece of fabric, and you think, oh lordy, where do I start with that? Especially if you're new to it. And you think, well, I've no inspiration, I don't know what to do. So this is just another way. Last week I did this ironing on transfers to give you something to follow if you want something more structured. But this week, this is just some of the fabric that I did a bit of messing about with wax on yesterday. And this is how I would start a piece. Now, have I still got, or have I moved them? I think I've moved them. I was just looking to see if I'd still got my finished pieces that I showed you yesterday. No, I've moved them. Oh no, they're here, front of my nose. So these started out with like this, just wax going round in different areas. Now I know a lot of this is a mixture of hand stitch and sheen stitching, but it started off like this, and it just gives you that bit of a starting point when you're not sure where to start. And I've for my Hexies, I've just gone and got a scrap of material, scrap of fabric, and I've used my trusty template, my Helix template again, so that's come in twice already. And I've cut little Hexies out, and we can put these on here. Depends where I don't know, you can put them anywhere, it doesn't really matter. You can have some sort of a pattern or not. So I thought I would put those on them for my Hexies, and then my fly stitch. So fly stitch, I'm going to do another one here. So sometimes if we're just going to do a bit of slow stitching, oh, I haven't put a knot in there. We'll do some fly stitch in a minute. I've just got a bit of wadding on the back here because I think it just gives you a nice effect when you've got some wadding on. So say we want to go down this line here, and basically, you know, you can just do running stitch and follow the pattern down. And if you wanted, you could just follow all these lines down, and it's surprising, you could get a really nice effect just using different strands, different thicknesses of your cotton, your threads. Not got much here, but I want to finish it off. So we're just following this down. And just by doing this, you've already got a start to your blank piece of work. I'm going to take that down there now, because I have this tendency, don't I? Tendency to not have much left, look, before I tie it off. Same here, nothing's changed. Just thread that through the back there. So can you see that already you're starting to get something on there? Now I'm going to we'll use a little bit of this colour now, and I'm going to split it this time. So we've got, so that was 6 strands, so I'm going to split it into 3s. She says hopefully. Yep. Yeah, I think so. And I just let it do its own twizzling. You know, it just wants to have a bit of a twizzle round to split it. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 3 strands now, slightly different colour. And we're just going to start, we'll start in the same, just slightly higher this time. And I think we'll follow roughly, you're not following it exactly, but we'll roughly follow these markings, some of these markings down. Doesn't matter if your stitches aren't even, that might be the effect you want. Different stitches, large and small, bigger gaps between them. It's all about just part of the improvisation of doing what you feel. The slow stitch, you don't want to be thinking, oh, have I got to do loads of pattern, what do I do next, and panic about fly stitch. Yeah. I ought to have got it out of the way first, didn't I? So yeah, we'll follow this round. Now then, let's have a look. It's going a bit twizzled, so we'll just let it do its own untwizzling. I do find that's the only thing I do find with this. It seems to need more untwizzling than the proper DMC. Right, we'll follow down here. And if we want to tell you what we're going to do now, we're going to change direction. I fancy going down here. Right, I'm going to move my quilting pins. Now these are great to have. Great. They're a lot easier to use, and especially if you're using any wadding up the back. If you haven't got wadding, just dry a few baby wipes. They're just as good. But these are curved. These are quilters pins, and they're curved. Can you see? Now I find them nice. You know, there's something a bit different to put in a journal or whatever, but these are great if you are got any wadding whatsoever. I mean, I use them all the time. I don't buy straight pins generally now. Okay, I've moved that out our way, and I thought I could hear the kettle on, but I don't know. My mouth says shall I drop the hint? Polly, put the kettle on. David, put the kettle on. We'll all have tea. He's heard me. Do I love you?
Mr. Elusive.
Mr. Elusive. Yes, please. I'm sure you'll think he's badly done to. He's not at all. So I've changed tack, and we're going around here for a bit. And oops, I don't want to get my pin. I don't want to fasten my pin in. It's not part of the design. Okay. So I'll tell you what I want to do then now. I'm going to go back the other way. I've followed that little bit of a line there, and I'm going to go back. I'll take my pin with me. And follow a love. You see now, if you hadn't done this with the wax, you wouldn't really know where you were following. But look, I fancy following this line now. It's like going on a magical mystery tour, isn't it? Hey, musical magical mystery tour in stitch. I'm following this line round. I like the look of that one. There we go. And there goes Nelson. We did the front garden yesterday. Well, I mean, we're both like oak crocs. David has to be really careful. He can't do all that. He can't walk far without him getting a lot of heart trouble. I really can't do loads of gardening. He can cut the lawn, like he doesn't, because it's not. Oh, but do you know, there's these. I've got these lavender bushes. Oh, and they're a nightmare, really. I love them, and when there's all new on, it smells gorgeous, and I dry it. Oh, but this time of year, it's all straggly and horrible and prickly, and you're trying to get rid of prickles, and we were ready for an early night. We were. So that's come to the end of that little bit, and so therefore, now on its own you'll think, well, it's not really showing anything, but you build it up, you build your stitches up, and you know, even if you're just building up loads of straight stitch, loads of running stitch, eventually if you're using different colours and different textures, it builds up beautifully. So got the other half here. Let's follow. Let's have a look what else we've got round here. Well, we've got one in the middle, a line in the middle we could follow, so I'm going to start here. So it don't really matter, does it? It's your piece, you can do what you want. So I'm starting here, and I'm going to follow this particular line down. And you see, I think that as well as the stitch, you're getting some lovely coloration on your fabric from the wax. And it is heat sealed, but I mean, you're not going to go and wash it. It's not like we're making a quilt and it needs washing. This is just a decorative piece for a journal. See, we've run out there, so I can do a couple of things here really. I could carry on going down there with the others, or I could just think, well, actually I'm just going to go straight down. We haven't got much happening down here. We'll go straight down, that will do us. There we go. Thank you, darling. You're a good cup of tea maker, aren't you?
Aye, beverage technician.
Oh, aren't we posh?
Yes.
Hey, posh today.
Yeah.
You always talk quietly, I've noticed. Don't you?
Yes. Well, it's for the hard of hearing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that, yeah, you're talking quietly because I'm loud, aren't you?
Yes. There you go.
Off you go.
Yeah.
Off you go. Is that like, off you go, go on, run it, trot on.
Thank you, Mum.
He will not do as he's told. He just gives you that impression, meek and mild, and I tell him what to do. No, not at all. He's not. He is. We are very different, but that's probably why we get on. But no, he won't be told what to do, and he's very stubborn. And you'll say, don't do any more gardening, David. You've not long come out of hospital. And does he listen? No. Does he heck? Now, I'm just with nothing there, but we might fancy doing a bit of something else there. Don't know what. So I'm going to actually nip across to here and come back this way. So hope you're all well. It's lovely and sunny again. Beautiful. I mean, cool. It's not, we still have to think it's spring and we're in the UK and we're near the sea. But, oh, goodness me. People are coming in droves, It really worries me. We didn't come out of the first lot of shielding till 1st of August, I think it was, first lot of shielding. And I mean, we followed it mainly, apart from taking Nelson out. We've done it for the full year. They said that they'd downgraded us slightly, and therefore we could just be careful and go out a little bit more, but not indoors. That's us personally, not the nation. Unfortunately, we've got a lovely garden, nice back garden, little back garden. So it was lovely to sit out there. But, you'd only got to go in the car and go and have a little run, see the sea. Because, just going and seeing the sea makes me feel better. And, there were loads. People just not following any sort of rules. They thought, I'm on my holidays. You can't possibly catch anything nasty. We're on holiday near the sea. Honestly, it's as if they didn't think it existed here. And then it sounds grouchy, but then it puts everybody, everybody at risk. And I think where you live, Lynn, you're going to have a lot of holiday makers, I should imagine, this year. And because people are more free this summer, hopefully, and because they're not allowed to go abroad, they're all going to be coming here. They'll all be coming here, and they'll all be coming to Yulin as well. And so therefore we can't get down to the sea, or we don't go, because all these people are coming for the holidays, and because they think it doesn't exist here, they're not following social distancing. They were all, you know, you went on the Marine Drive and they were all no, social distancing had gone out the window. So of course we're putting ourselves at risk if we go into these things. So I think yet again we won't be getting our holidays. We won't get any holidays, will we, Lynn? We'll be keeping away from the madness. Most definitely be keeping away from the madness. Right, so can you see how that's building up? Now, do we fancy putting a hexagon? Now, I quite like that there. So, just take this pin out from down here, because oh no, tell you what, I've just suddenly spotted what I'm going to use. I'll use one of my quilting clips, and these are great things to have for edging. If you're actually quilting out, you know, or sewing fabric together or whatever, these are great, and just take them out as your needle gets to it. So I'm just going to clip that there. Now then, shall I try some of my new stuff? Now normally this is for best really, but I'm going to try this and see when I can get in it. If it's going to take me half an hour to get in, we'll not bother. Don't they drive you mad sometimes, these little plastic things that's on threads? My nails are coming back. They're starting to get a bit stronger. We've started having a zinc tablet today now, because I did notice when we had zinc before, because I have thyroid trouble generally, my nails, you can tell my nails suffer for it. And I found when I was on zinc before, they're in front of my eyeballs, look, they started improving, so we've got ourselves back on that. And a Holland and Barrett multivitamin well, if you see it, the for seniors. We're in senior territory now when you get to 60. Well, David's not 60 yet, but he keeps reminding me of. See, we're slow stitching, it's slow unwrapping as well. They're like horse pills, honestly. They're massive, absolutely massive, and they just make me smile. Oh yes, these are multivitamins for seniors, you know, age 60 and over, all the minerals and vitamins you need. But they forget that, you know, perhaps something not us, but as, you know, the older age group, as they get to my dad's age, in their 80s, well, they can't swallow so well. So what's point in making these grips? Do you know, I'm making a pig's ear trying to get in there, and I'm ending up cutting all my threads. I didn't want to do that. Look. Oh. You see, they could think of something better to put on than this plastic. It's only coming off in right little pieces. There. Silly thing. Now look, can't find thread because I've cut through. Oh, lordy, lordy. Pay all this money for it. Best thread. You can't get in it. There we go. That's it. This will do us. Oh, it's very fine. Very fine. Now swap my needle. I'm going to take this little one if we just... Crikey. Very. I suppose though, if you're doing, if you are doing applique, you want something that's pretty fine, don't you? So I'm just going to do some overstitch, whip stitch. So you just take a little bite, really. Take a little bite and under. Don't leave it too far. I'm sure most of you know how to do this. Don't go too far away. Now you can do it a lot smaller than this and make it a lot more invisible, but seeing as this is a decorative piece, I don't necessarily bother if they show. Move that around there a bit. If they show. So a little bite under there. Very fine. It's nice though. I mean machine, any of you machine cotton or whatever under this. There we go. So yeah, I'm just whipping around these. Sews very nicely. So this is the Effiner. Yeah, Effiner. Colour EF15. You see, you don't even have to go. You can just take a bite out of each side. You don't even have to go back through your fabric when you're doing applique. Every time, you could do a few just going through the fabrics and then, go all the way through every third or so if you want, just to give it that extra anchor. Little bit, this is upholstery fabric, a scrap that I've got left. So it's, sometimes you need to put some fray check on it because it can be a bit naughty. So hope your sewing's coming along nicely. Still in the comments down below, tell me what you're working on. It'd be interesting for me to know. I'm showing you all my stuff and you'll be knowing all my life history by the time we're finished. Let me know what you're working on, what you're enjoying doing this, what you're enjoying sewing when we do our slow stitch. I think this is a good time to be doing anything, to practice mindfulness and anything really that helps you relax and slow down. Right, so that's one hexie on. Just tie that off to knot at the back. Okay, stick that back in there. So we've put that on. Now, bit of fly. I've been putting it off. I can't keep putting it off, can I? So I'm just having a look at this to see. I've done a couple there. You see, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything. You know, your stitch pieces. They don't have to be. You don't think, oh, well, look, they're trees, that's a forest or whatever. Because this is just random, but it looks lovely. Because, you know, it's abstract and it's... and I do like abstract stuff. It varies. I mean, some people always feel like they want to do some structure and form, so I really enjoy always putting leaves and flowers on their pieces. It varies. I'm not one for drawing straight lines or, you know, going on the normal route. I'm not, so improvisational stitching really suits me. I hope you're having a nice cup of tea or coffee as well. I don't drink a lot of coffee, I have to say. Right, we've got 3 strands on here. And where are we going to have? Well, I'm going to be unusual and go across this way. We're not going to have a tree. So, in a way, I've found by looking at trying to have an imaginary middle line is something that does help. David?
Yeah.
I think they've come for the printer.
Okay.
Okay then, so in my mind's eye we've got a straight line down here, and you can pencil it down if it helps when you're first starting, because it's taken me ages to pick this one up. So we come out and we've got our middle. I've put a big pokey hole in there, so you've got your middle line there that's going to come down here, and so I go about equidistant from the centre as where I came up, and take my stitch down. Now don't pull it fully through, leave your stitch like that till you've got a little loop. Okay, then you're going to come up at this central line there, and that is our little Y stitch, and then we're going to come down on the central line and take our needle through. Okay, and so therefore we've got our first. Okay, so again we're going to come up slightly up, so you get in the V shape. It doesn't matter, you know, however you want to do, but if you want that bit of a curve like feathers, you're going to come up, you're going to loop round, if that helps you to do it like that, and you're going to go up this side, not as far as that, and come down. Not getting rid of our loop altogether. Coming up with the stitch where we came down in the centre, and down. Pull it a bit, there we go. So we're going to be up here slightly. We're going to make our loop, and we're going to go down. Okay, we're going to come up on centre line, and then we're going to take this down to make our loop. There we go. Okay, so up at that side, curl it round, and then we're going to go just slightly up as if we've got a wing up from where we came out. There we go. Leave your loop in place while you come up, And I think it's a lot of people I've watched when they're showing you, they do it all in one foul swoop, some of it, and then I find that throws me. It was sending me a bit, oh, well, where did they go next? And down like that. Okay. And then you can change direction if you want. So say, for example, we want to curl round this corner. We've got our wing up. We've got the loop down there. And then from here, we're going up a bit there. We've still got our loop. We go up through the middle. But we want to come down a bit on a slant. We're now moving our central line. Can you see? Because we're going around this corner now. So up from there to get your little wing. Leave your loop up from there. Make sure you don't pull your loop. Go up in the middle. And then come down. And we're now turning that corner, can you see? So we'll just do one more of those before I run out of thread. So we're going to go up a little bit with our wing. We're going to make our loop. We're going to go up with the wing at that side. Holding on to the loop if it helps you. I hold it and then I know I'm not going to make a mess of it. Come up in the middle. There you've got your shape, and then we're going to bring it down here because we're going round this corner. There we are. One more. I might get one more out of this thread. So, slightly up where your wing is. We've got our side wings. We've got our little loop there. We're going to go down to make the side wing at that side. We're going to come up the middle, except my needle's getting stuck on my thing inside other side. We're going to come up at that middle point and then down round this corner, and there you are. Whoo, 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 whoo. Now I hope that's helped you, because that's the only way I remember how to do it, by talking about wings and bringing it back to the middle and holding your loops. It's one of those stitches I just have a mental block with. So by George, she's got it, as they say. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit more down here so you can see what the build-up is to go with our... I'll put the other hexes on later on. Yeah. Not sure where. I've done 3 because it always looks better, doesn't it? Now I'm thinking we'll have a little bit of gold on here. That'd look nice, so I think we'll have a bit of that. Got little stickers on to stop them coming on threaded, which is a good idea. So I'm going to do 3. I do like doing 3. And if it gets a bit tangled, just be patient with it. Let it unravel itself. There we go. Get my big needle again. Now this is where if you were being really technical, you'd swap to a long milliner's needle, because if you're doing rows and rows of straight stitch, you could put a few on your stitch at a time. Right, I'm going to go up this one, I think, so that we're sort of intermingling. We'll start down here. We're intermingling up with the green lot. So I suppose, using a long, this is a chenille needle, but you could, this is how they do it. They do a few on at once, and especially people that do hand quilting, they're the best needles because they can get several stitches on at once. Look like that. which is all right when you're doing a great big quilt, but for me, when we're slow stitching, there's something just about doing one at a time for me. You know, you can just one or just up one. There's something more soothing about. You start feeling stress when you've got a few on. We don't want that, do we? I'm going to go around this corner a bit there. And I tell you what we're going to do. We'll go around this hexie. So now if you wanted, you could do some back stitch round here. So instead of sort of coming up right near where you've just done the last stitch, leave a little bit of a way and put your needle in and take your needle up. And the judge of this is if you put your needle like that, your thread, sorry, like that, and you've roughly got half and half on your needle, then you're doing, you know, you're roughly keeping to a nice even stitch. So if you go there and take a bite in, now that's too much. So if you then go less like that, you take your needle that way so you can see. That's too much. So it doesn't matter. You don't want to be perfect, but just till you get the swing of how much to take, that's about equal. So that will be the same. There we go. And there's something quite neat once you get the hang of backstitch properly, because that's something that I've done some research on it this week, because I always used to get, and even, I don't know if it was last week or week before, I'm saying, oh, it's driving me mad, my backstitch never, they're always different sizes. So that's the trick. That is the tip, half and half with your needle. If your thread's not in the middle of the two bites, then your stitch won't be even. I mean, you might not want that effect, you might not want an even stitch, but you know, as near as damn it. So I'm just going to carry on going round here, and I think it'll be about a video, because I was showing me show and tell. There we go. You don't have to do it every time, but just ever so often. Have a look. And don't pull it too tight, because if you haven't got a flat at the back, it means you're pulling it too tight. Let me just finish my slurp of tea. This is a nice colour. And it goes, because there seems to be a little bit of this colour in the crayon. Stitching with no thread in it. So I'm hoping that you've enjoyed this session, and that you're really enjoying having that hour for yourself. People are seeming to like it. I've only threaded one of those. See what I mean? It not quite up to DMC or but still very good for the money, and still, you know, unless you're doing your best embroidery that's for an exam, good enough. Some of the things that I'm doing for this project for Ariane. Sorry, she won't be watching me, so I'm not offending her. I'm going to practice with cheaper stuff first, because, you know, can't afford to keep wasting this Sue Spargo thread at that price. And there's no UK, I've looked, there aren't any UK distributors for her stuff. There are a few people on Etsy that do it, but again, they're all in the States. So look, can you see now? I'm not concentrating, and they're going too small. So I'll take them out. They're a bit too small. Look at that, it's a diddy. Right, I'll take this out, and then I think that's about a video. I think we've been here knocking on an hour, but it's been nice. I always love our Tuesdays. Well, I love doing them all. I really enjoy it because it helps us as much as it helps you. You know, we've only just come out of another big lockdown, and I don't know where we'd be if we, you know, for us this has kept us going. It is a lot of hard work, but can you see this thread's very easy to split when you don't want it to split. But I don't want to put you off, because I think it's excellent value for the money. Right, I'm faffing about with this now instead of saying goodbye, aren't I? Right, I'll fiddle with that later. And I promise, Corrina, that I will put the other hexes on. So I hope that gives you an idea that I wanted to just do this. We'll be back to our hairs. Back to hairs next week. We'll alternate, or we'll do a bit on both. I just wanted to show you, anybody that's new to slow stitching, I mean, the movement is all about really having some quiet time and letting all the worries out your head. But, you know, if you want to just start with a little piece like this, you don't have to do anything structured. And it's scary to have a blank piece of fabric, or even card paper. I love stitching on anything really. This just takes that blankness away. It gives you a bit of a way to follow. Now you don't have to, you can go against the flow or whatever you want to do. But as soon as you start putting a few lines of stitches in, there's somebody in the back garden. He's off. He's on guard duty. You wouldn't think he was a cockapoo, would you? You'd think he were a great big Alsatian. So yeah, it just gives you something to do. So have a try at that. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised where it takes you by just doing a few marks with melted wax, where it takes your work. And you know, I love doing them just like this, and that, what a fabulous topper on a journal that makes. All right then, my lovelies, so thank you so much for joining me. As usual, I'm getting more like this. I'm getting further and further nearer the map. Thank you as always for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I love to have your company here on a Tuesday. And thank you so much for all my new subscribers. You're very, very welcome. We've got some lovely girls here. And yeah, I'll see you next video. Bye for now.